And joining us now is Gregg Ibendahl, a K-State Ag economist, and he was also one of the presenters at the Risk Profit Conference. Gregg, one of the things that you talked about was, I guess, looking already at next year, trying to line up fertilizer and trying to guess where we might be with those prices.
Yeah, that's always been kind of an interest of mine, looking at production expenses for farmers and figuring out some way if we can actually predict those. Because if you can predict the fertilizer price, then you can actually time when you make your purchases and maybe affect your crop mix. So the ability to predict fertilizer prices, I think, can help farmers tremendously.
We'll talk about some of the things you shared, some of your insights you've learned.
Well, so normally fertilizer, you would think is tied to the natural gas price because they make fertilizer, basically the ammonia products, from natural gas. Well, it turns out natural gas is not a very good predictor of fertilizer prices, too much volatility. And I started looking at those models, back probably 15 years ago, and they just never did work out too well. Well, the last couple of years I've been kind of looking at maybe, is there another substitute we can look at? So I've been looking at predicting fertilizer prices based on the price of oil and the price of corn. It turns out when you combine those two together, you get a really nice model.
So really, again, everything revolves around corn.
Well, it kind of does, because you can kind of almost look at that as the demand side of things. So, the better a corn price is going to be, you're going to have more corn acres. And higher price also leads to higher fertilizer application rates. So all those affect really the demand for nitrogen fertilizer and how much is going to be applied out there.
Do we have too much information, though, in trying to make these decisions?
I don't think so, because in my model to predict this, I'm actually looking at the price of oil that's lagged for 9 months. So basically, I already had that data already in hand. So with the current price of oil today, I can basically give you some idea of what the fertilizer price is going to be 9 months from now.
So it's really advantageous to start tracking that early, book it early, or because of some of the volatility to wait?
Well, actually, looking at my model, and I had a prediction in my paper that I presented here today. I'm basically saying that starting from now, I think fertilizer prices may go down maybe for maybe up to a month or so, but then they're going to start going up, and they're going to go up probably clear up and through December. So really now is a really pretty good time to buy fertilizer for next year. I think it's going to be the low point for the next 9 months to a year or so.
So especially if you know your cropping rotation will help you make those cropping rotations, those acre allocations, this may be the time to lock in, other than seed, probably the most expensive input.
Yeah, I would think so. If you can do it now, it'd be a great time. But I've heard some talk yesterday that some of these suppliers really aren't always honoring their agreements for these things. But if you can buy it, if you have a place to store it, for sure, because then you can get the price that you have. So now's a good time to buy. Like I said, a lot of times we see farmers wait till the end of the year and look at their cash flow needs and maybe try to lower their income for the year. But if you try to buy in December, that's actually going to be about the worst, because I think that's actually when prices are going to peak. So either buy it now or maybe wait till like February, March before you actually buy.
So you'll have this information be up on the Ag Manager Info site, correct?
Yes, it's on there now. If you go to agmanager.com and look under our site there, you'll see a paper by me about predicting fertilizer prices.
All right, Gregg, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Gregg Ibendahl, K-State Ag economist, joining us. We'll have more coming up.